mid-match adaptation and then the improvement while the players go on. It's always so exciting, especially in singles, when you see the momentum of a player just carry on their way to victory throughout the entire match, and it definitely determines the pace of the game as well. But Locus and Samsora, another team that is actually really interesting to watch.
Samsora is so good. Like, his Peach is just... Like, I have nothing else. Like, that's the number one thing I can say. Is just, like, the Peach is so underexplored for a lot of people. Like, we saw Key win the crew battle and say later that Peach is the best character in the game. Everyone should use her.
Oh, my goodness.
Samsora is showing, like, hey, yeah, Peach is pretty darn good. And as we move into this game one here between these guys, I'm excited to see how they're able to kind of manage the floatiness and combo-heavy stuff that Peach likes to do with the powerful hits of Locus's Ryu.
Yeah, Fair being a really scary force to reckon with, whereas Ryu also being the character that has so much kill potential, but oh my goodness, already just like that, Samsora losing his stock relatively early, up on the top ceiling there.
Yeah, that's no woman's land. Like, you don't want to be there if you're Peach, because you're going to have a tough time getting around the quick movements and kind of range of moving that both Sonic and Bayonetta have.
And there's that Super Saiyan comment that you were talking about. Mistake really doing a great job at converting off of 6WX's throws, making sure he gets the most he can out of it, and just like that, taking Locus's stock. Oh my goodness,
and
Mistake already taking Samsora's second stock so early. The match has only been going on for roughly a minute.
Yeah, and they still haven't taken a stock off of Blue Team, which is something that they have to absolutely do. Now, Ryu, one of the best, comeback potentials in the game, but when you're fighting two people and you have moves that aren't as safe as some other ones, like to really get a kill, you have to smash or you have to Shoryuken. And if you're alone, which is about to happen with Peach only having one stock, you're in for a bad time.
It's really difficult. This team comp, especially for Ryu, it's going to be really hard for Locus to land here. Whereas Bayonetta covering the aerial mobility that he has, whereas he can only mix it up with dash attack from Focus, and 6WX just covering his landing there, but Locus is not going to say no to that.
He just said, sure, you can, like, when in doubt, let's go for it, and he did get the stock there. It's still a long road to go, but I mean, Peach is a good damage dealer, but unfortunately these witch times are just coming in at all the wrong moments for Locus, not able to get conversions and a lot of damage, and so just again, the mountain is very difficult to climb. They might have to just kind of resign this one and go into game two, because Blue Team looking dominant.
Blue Team looking really dominant, but Samsora changing it up a little bit, keeping a little bit more around Locus and not so much grounded, that way he is able to cover Locus whenever he does something and he has to commit to it.
And Mistake actually making a small mistake there. I knew I was going to get to say it eventually, but oh wow!
Oh no, Samsora unfortunately
Locus with that thick Shoryuken taking out everyone. Just clearing the dance floor.
It is going to be super hard for Locus to come back from, unfortunately.
I mean, yeah, you just can't stop. Like, one grab, one anything, and he was done. He did get it pretty close. I mean, it was one stock to two, but it was fresh stocks, and he had a lot of damage, and it was just not really going to happen. So, like I said, though, they seemed like right at the end of the match that they were making the correct adjustments, and because of that, I have a good feeling about game two here. So it just depends on the stage and how they decide to maintain these adjustments that they're making.
So talking about this character synergy, 6WX and Mistake, I really like the way that they're approaching Mistake, just covering the entirety of the air. Did not really see him land that much because 6WX covers the ground perfectly fine. So whereas when 6WX got the opportunity to send anybody upwards, Mistake was constantly there, which is why Mistake was on top of Samsora for those first two stops.
It was almost like going into battle with like air support.
Yes.
Like ground troops are obviously very effective, but when you have the superiority of the air, you know, Bayonetta is basically like a Black Hawk helicopter.
It's an elevator. She just takes you up.
And so we're going to go back to Smashville here. I mean, I agree with that, because the stage wasn't really the reason they lost. It's because they weren't able to really go into their game plan. We saw it at the end where, you know, Peach does the damage, Ryu cleans them up. But unfortunately, because of the witch times that were coming in, Locus kept finding himself in poor positions and leaving Samsora in just poor areas of 2v1s. Oh, and there's a Shoryuken to take the first stock. Complete 360, or 180, not 360. Turn 360 and walk away. That's an old internet meme for you guys out there. Oh, wow. Speaking of just big old fists coming in, That'll get rid of Samsora, and right now we're pretty even here. Ryu, though, has much bigger kill potential than Sonic.
Much better game that we saw last game. Commentator's curse there. But much better game that we're seeing from the momentum of Red Team, holding down to the stage control a lot better than we saw the last game.
And they're also like back-to-back here. Like they're keeping their teams together so that they can support each other really quickly, separating 6WX and Mistake. And the great thing about them being separated is that it means that they're not going to be able to have that air coverage.
And right there, when we think that Mistake was going to create a mistake, unfortunately managed to get hit by the Peach up air and was going to lose a stock for that.
Yeah, blue team is still even on stocks just because of the great stock taking here from 6WX, but it is, you know, Ryu is able to basically clean up Sonic at any moment here if he makes a single error in his gameplay, which 6WX not known to do.
That was a fantastic shield from 6WX.
Oh, and there goes Sonic. Okay.
Coming.
And Locus finally scouted out one of those witch times and didn't fall for it and was able to get a small punish on it. And now they're kind of reset to neutral here, but Red Team moving forward, just advancing the front lines here. And again, staying back-to-back, staying next to each other so that they can stop themselves from getting comboed by this team, which in Game 1 is really their demise, is that they couldn't stop the team combos from blue team. This time doing it super well.
6WX interrupting Samsora there to prevent him from being able to help out Locus up on the top there. Ryu having a really troubling time just getting in on Bayonetta.
And that's really like the thing about Bayonetta is that her neutral is typically known as kind of poor. But if you come at her, she loves that. And with doubles, it's so much chaos that it's very difficult to stay away from Bayonetta and to prevent her from doing things. So, I mean, it's obviously been a really good show from Red Team here, being able to, again, stay back-to-back, stay close together, and not let Bayonetta, you know, do her shenanigans.
That's definitely something that's making a difference in this match.
Speaking of shenanigans.
Definitely a difference that we saw in that game from Red Team. Constantly, whenever they found themselves in kind of a rut, they constantly DI'd into each other just for support. Hey, if I'm going to be picked on by myself, I do not want to get picked on by Bayonetta. I'm going to DI towards you, and we're going to deal with this problem together. And that is the difference that we saw. Basically.
Like the back-to-back fighting. Like, man, I'm making some old references today. Like, anybody that was born after 95 is not going to get anything I just said.
I'm sorry.
Like, I just made a Double Dragon reference. Like, no one's going to get that. But as we go into Game 3 here, again, I could definitely see them just sticking Smashville the whole way because, again, I just think it was a series of strategies that were invoked by both teams to get them their individual wins to make it to 1-1. I don't think it has anything to do with the stage. So as long as the team comp stays the same, I think it's just going to be, you know, a back-and-forth battle on Smashville. Yeah,
I wouldn't doubt if Locus and Samsora banned FD. They do not want to be taken there. It would be really hard for Ryu to actually land on that stage.
Yeah, you can say that again. Like, that's just... Within Game 1, how much of a no man's land being above Bayonetta it was.
That was the force.
Having no platform to escape to, having nothing, you know, having nothing doing in that would be tough. And actually, we're going to go right back to Smashville. So same team comp and everything. I think we saw a color change from Locus, but that's about it. Putting on a different gi. But as long as their strategy stays the same and blue team doesn't seem to have an answer for that, it'll be that way. But I'm liking the more movement focus that 6WX has started off with, going back and forth, just trying to stay by Bayonetta and go back to their Game 1 strategy of just sending them up and then Bayonetta sends them off.
Lucas letting go of focus a little bit too early. It's costing him a little bit of damage, but constantly sticking by Samsora's side just in case in a situation like this.
Oh, good jab there from 6WX to stop that focus attack from hitting him. Remember, any multi-hit's going to break the focus attack, so if you have a quick jab or something like that, that's all you're going to need. But you know what else you only need if you're Ryu is that classic Shoryuken.
Yeah, that was a very bad situation to be in. On the platform, off the side there, but from Bayonetta, very scary situation. Unfortunately, going to cost Samsora's stock.
Oh, I actually like what Locus tried to do there. He did up tilt in one way and then tried to maybe read a roll or B-reverse it to catch 6WX.
Just in case they try to DI behind him from the up tilt.
Yeah, either DI behind him or to stop 6WX from saving him from the up tilt string. Either way, he had it covered, and because Samsora was right there, he knew that it was relatively safe. Oh, but a great grab to stop any sort of prevention of the punish here, but misses it with the footstool combo. Honestly, though, if blue team can get a few more of those, it's going to be quick work from red team.
Oh my goodness, he gets the get up with the up tilt into down air.
That's like Shoryuken's always fun, but seeing the spikes
until he gets
those,
your neutral get up with up tilt.
And then, yeah, I like the dare
Or jump.
kills more than I like the Shoryuken kills. I think they're a little bit funnier and more creative.
Great conversion from that back throw into back air.
And as far as I know, these guys have never teamed together, but we are seeing some great synergy from both of these teams. They just seem to have a nose for where their partner is going to send their foe. And if they get a combo opportunity, the other one occupies the teammates to prevent it from happening. And we're not quite back to even here, but Peach relatively light.
Both teams doing a really good job at staying on the stage and trying to regain the control over the other. Oh, unfortunate friendly fire there.
Yeah, that back heel kick, back air, you can't get hit by that. Like you can't throw that out willy-nilly when your partner is at high percent. All of Ryu's moves are so meaty and so strong that any air in judgment is going to probably cost the stock. But a great back air there.
Oh, and that down air is going to clip Locus there, unfortunately.
Can Mistake make this comeback? I mean, Bayonetta's a very committal character, unfortunately. Like, to get her kills, she either has to throw out a smash or go high into the air, but nope, dash attack.
Dash attack. Well, that's pretty funny. Did you notice the entirety of that last part of the match? Locus stayed grounded nearly the entire time. He walked constantly and just stayed grounded because he did not want to catch himself up in the air versus Mistake and cost him his stock there.
Yeah, that's exactly what doomed them in Game 1 is they weren't able to keep their feet planted on terra firma, and they were able to adjust from that, do some great team combos, stay that back-to-back kind of style, supporting each other the whole time, and were able to take it over 6WX and Mistake. So they're going to be moving on to top 8. And next up, we should have the match we talked about earlier, which is Zero and Ally versus Lapis and JK.